Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new Elder Scrolls Online What's to Come video. So this is what I'm going to be doing every Sunday from here on out, is I'm going to be bringing you guys a new video showing you guys what builds you guys are going to get to see for the following week. And this way you guys get a heads up of what's coming and how it's coming. So this is what's coming this week. We've got the Meridius Blade Knight. We've got the Divine Paladin, Akavari Knight, the Vengeance Paladin, the Shadow Knight, the Blood Shadow Paladin, the Death Knight, the Oathbreaker Paladin, the Lord Knight, the Paladin of Daedra. It's got an interesting start. I'll get to that when I show it off. The Druidic Knight, and the Nature's Ward Paladin. These are all of the character builds I'm going to be releasing this week in succession. So every day I'll be releasing two builds. So I'll be releasing the first day the Meridius Blade Knight, the Divine Paladin, the Akavari Knight on the next day with the Vengeance Paladin, then the Shadow Knight with the Blood Shadow Paladin, and then the Death Knight with the Oathbreaker Paladin, the Lord Knight with the Sorcerer, the Paladin of Daedra. I'm going to try and come up with a better name for that one. The Druidic Knight and the Nature's Ward Paladin. These are all going to come out in succession this week, like I said. So these two will actually come out on Saturday. The rest of them will come out, like these two will come out on Friday. These two will come out on Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and then of course tomorrow on Monday. So this way you guys can really get in and dive in to see what these things are like. Now I am going to show you guys something here. So this is the difference between a knight and a paladin. A knight is more about using their physical aspects. So they're more aggressive kind of warriors in a way, or knights. So I'll go in here and I'll just show you what I mean. So they use a lot of stamina-based abilities, knights do. They're not as much based on like a paladin, where a paladin is more of a mix of magic and melee. So they use both divine powers and melee sword skills. So when it comes to the class abilities, these are going to be how you guys can discern the difference between them. So when it comes to, I need to fix this. So when it comes to skills, like if you look, most of my skills are going to be more stamina based on this, the Meridius Knight Blade, or Meridius Blade Knight, sorry, is going to be more physical based, but it still has access to all these other abilities. Then when you look at something like the Divine Paladin, which by the way, I can't say who helped me with this, but somebody gave me the suggestions for this, and it's freaking cool. So you guys are gonna see something about this that you probably haven't seen on a tank, and if you have, let me know, because this setup really worked well, way better than I ever expected. So like I said, Divine Paladin is more along the lines of a Divine Paladin. So they are used in the Sanctuary set, but if you look at what I have for skills, I use things that are more magic abilities. So I'm using more magic defined abilities than I am stamina, because the idea of these are they focus more into the magicka element than they do the stamina element. So I have more magic abilities learned, but as you can see, I do have about equal stamina to magicka with 32k health. Now that's without sword and shield. So when I have sword and shield, I have 33k health, 22, almost 23k max magicka, and 23k stamina with this. Now I tested this build in several different dungeons, just entering and playing around, and this thing did better than I could have ever imagined. Like, this thing, it didn't cakewalk the dungeons, but it made it look really easy for tanking. If you look here, I have a 2095 weapon damage with a 1976 spell damage, really low spell crit, and a really low weapon crit. But it's not that's not what we're worried about. We're more worried about using abilities like this that are going to help and aid our allies. So when we do this, we get better heals. And this character is pretty much a support tank. So, and they're a very powerful support tank. Now, again, with all these builds that I'm releasing, these are all template type builds. So they're all suggestive builds. That means everything in them is just suggestion. So like if I say, hey, this is how I make my Divine Paladin, these are the sets I use, these are the traits, the Mundus Stone, the enchants, and there's something in there that you don't like or don't agree with, you can change it. It's completely up to you. Because I've made the characters to be flexible with every race. I made them to be flexible with every person's playstyle. Divine Paladins, Argonian, High Elf, Breton, Dark Elf are really powerful as Divine Paladins. And there's an interesting story behind them that I'll get to when I release them. And each of these has an interesting backstory or story to them that explains why they're this way, like why this is a Divine Paladin, why this is an Akavari Knight, why this is a Shadow Knight, why they're called this, and everything. So every one of these I have written basically backstories to the classes or the classifications. Now, the way I'm doing classifications is just this. It's the character name is the class or the build name is the classification. So when I do Meridius Blade Knight, that's the basically saying, hey, this is a knight, and by the idea of blade, they use a two-handed sword. Now, this character can off-tank, damage deal, and do support. This character can do damage and support and tank. This one can do off-tanking, damage and support, main tanking, damage and support, off-tanking, damage and support. You guys get where I'm going here? So the knights these knights are off-tank knights. Now I will have main tank knights as well. This is just the introduction of the builds that I'm going to be releasing. So next week, I'm going to leave this up to you guys. Do you guys want magic users and battle mages, clerics and priests, rogues and rangers, or you want shamans and or druids and basically warlock type characters? They're support characters, and then I have shamans and bards. So which one would you guys like to see next? Let me know in the comments below, because that's what I'll do next week, as I will start working on those builds for next week. Now, I didn't show you everything that I have here, so I didn't show you the Blood Mage magic user or the Blood Hunter ranger. Now, I did show a little bit about this one. I didn't show anything about this. So these ones are already made, and I'm going to leave them here. So when next week gets here, like as I release videos this week, since I have all these written down, I can actually delete them. But the way that I said they're going to release is this is going to say Meridius Blade Knight, and then it's going to say Templar character, and then it's going to say off-tank, damage, support. And there's going to be little, not brackets, but commas separating them all. So you know that those are the roles that this thing can play. So it's really easy to understand for people. And that's what I got going on for you guys this week. So I hope you guys are ready for this, because I am super stoked to bring you guys these builds. Now, I will tell you this. Any of these knight characters can use sword and shield if you want to, instead of two-handed or dual wield or whatever else they use. You can use, so you can be more main tank with them if you want. They are designed that way. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And that means that's it for the video, guys. So if you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you guys want to see more videos by me, you can subscribe. Other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a wonderful day. And this guy might see you in game. Bye.